Welcome to La Familia, the webcast that brings you some of the actors that have played in some of the greatest TV shows and movies out there. This first guest, I can't even explain how great this kid is. He's coming up like crazy. He's been in Analyze That, A Bronx Tale. He's been featured on America's Home Funniest Videos, or America's Funniest Home Videos, whatever way you want to call it. He has his own YouTube channel, which he features himself cooking, because he is a chef by trade, and he's got thousands and thousands of hits. I know one video has 100,000 hits, and he's also a stand-up comic. So, with no further ado, let me give you my friend, Pat Marone.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Pat. How's everything going?
All right, not too bad.
Did you enjoy your Sunday?
Yeah, I worked.
You worked? Oh, you didn't have no sauce today?
Yeah, I made the sauce. Yeah, my residents had the sauce at the facility I work at. Yeah.
All right, good.
We do pasta every Sunday.
Every Sunday, right? Me and my daughter do the same thing. You have to have macaroni on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Let me ask you, so you were in Bronx Tale first, right?
Yes.
That was your first film? And,
yes.
And give me an idea of how'd you get interested in film, and how'd you actually get onto one of the greatest movies of all time?
It was actually by accident. I was with a buddy of mine who we're not friends. We haven't spoken in years. We're not. He went down. He wanted to get this part in the movie. He said that De Niro's got this new movie coming out, and a friend of his got in there, and he says, "Take a ride with me. I want to try to get in." But casting was already over, so we got to Tribeca, and we went in there, and the woman, he went in there to try to get into the movie, and the woman said, "Casting's over. We're done." So he comes out. I said, "All right, let's go home." He said, no, I'm staying here until I see De Niro. I said, "What are you, nuts?" So we're staying there, and all of a sudden, De Niro comes walking out. I said, "Well, here's your chance." He runs over to him. He starts talking to him, and with that, De Niro goes to the assistant director, Sue Fiore, sends her over to talk to him about, I guess they liked him. And as De Niro's getting into the van, he looks over at me. Now, all of a sudden, now I become an actor. So I go, "Talking to me?"
Wow.
To me. And he's pointing to me going, "Yeah, you." So I walk over there, and the woman comes to me. She goes, "Are you with him?" He says, "Bob wants you to call this number and coming for at 4 o'clock." So I'm saying, "Oh, Bob wants to come," So it was great, So I went into his office for an interview, and I walked in there. I looked like Ralph Cramden, I was walking in, and I'm nervous. And De Niro gives me one of those De Niro faces, I'm sitting there, and I feel like I'm in one of the movies, and he goes, "What's the matter? You in shock?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in shock." And, he was a nice guy. We talked, and, he put me in the movie. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Wow. That is classic. Great story, especially in a movie like that, to get a part like that, because you have the look right off the bat. And you're going and support your friend to help him out, and De Niro picks you out and gives you a chance to get into a classic movie,
Yeah, we both got in there. It was cool. And that's where we met your father in there. Your father was a hell of a nice guy, man. Rest in peace. Real nice guy. And him and Beansy and another guy, Mackie. And it was a lot of fun. Chaz Palminteri was one of the nicest guys, too. He's a regular guy, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience.
Yeah, I know, man. That picture that you put up with my father and you and Beansy in that picture is a classic picture, And I know there were a lot of other pictures floating around that, were taken. I'm going to try to get my hands on some of them. But let me ask you, how, like, when you went on the set, like, did De Niro interact with you, or there was someone else setting you up in different scenes?
Oh yeah, no, he was. It was funny because me and my buddy were in there, and every morning when he pulled up, because we go for an 8 o'clock call, we were there at 6 o'clock. He'd be laughing hysterical when he seen us, and
wow.
He'd tell you where to stand in the scene. Like I was in the scene shooting pool when the kids bringing the espresso down to the crab game.
Right.
And back then in '92. Nobody had phones and stuff, so he was so precise. He's looking at the monitor as we're shooting the scene, and he comes walking in. He thought I had a beeper on me, but he was that he's very precise with everything. That's how like his eyes saw that, but it was my belt, you know.
Yeah,
But
my father told me that he was definitely in the zone when he was directing the film, and you know that's the first and only direct that he did,
right, yeah,
and it was classic. I'm surprised he doesn't do more of that. You know?
yeah, hell of a nice guy. He's a real gentleman. And then I met him again in the next movie. Analyzed that. I met him there, and he remembered me after that 10 years later, and nice, you know, he said hello to me. So
Yeah, yeah. My father almost well, he was supposed to get the part for Eddie Mush in that
oh wow,
movie. Yeah, yeah. He went down to Tribeca, sat with Deniro one on one. Deniro loved him. He wanted to give him the part, but there were some political things involved with people at that time. I'm not going to say what or who it was.
yeah,
They sort of like blocked my father out. They didn't want him to get like close.
Jackie, what was your father's name?
My father's name Gurphy. Gurphy, Rocky
right.
Blue, Chuck. You know, he had so many different names when he was in you know, overseas in Korea. They called him one thing. When he was here, you know,
What was his
he
real name, though?
his name was Rocco.
It was Rocco.
Rocco
Yeah.
Matra. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play cards on the set. It was a great set. We were hanging out. We used to play cards on the set every day. You know.
Yeah, man.
All
That
the
must have
guys,
been
because they
great.
were all from the club. Yeah, we're all regular guys and everything. So, and like you said, with your father, with that, there was a lot of things. A lot of people got blocked out for different things. I remember that being on the set. Somebody thought
See?
they were going to be in something, they got taken out. The guy that
Yes.
actually played Eddie Mush played himself, because I seen him in the Bronx on Arthur Avenue, and he's the real Eddie Mush.
Right. Oh,
He actually
okay. All
played
right.
himself. Yeah, he was actually playing himself, so that was pretty cool too. Chaz put him
Yeah,
in there.
man.
Yeah, yeah. Because it was funny. I
Yeah.
seen him on the corner. I say Eddie, and everybody's calling him Mush. It was his real name.
that
Yeah.
that was a classic movie, you know. I mean, I'm so glad that, you know, my father was in that movie. So it's always something that I can talk about. You know, he's passed away since then. He died in '97. He was also in Broadway Danny Rose, which is another classic movie by Woody
Great,
Allen. And
great
Woody
movie.
Allen loved him. He was a money ripper when they were doing the scene, you know, him and the other guy, and they were saying, oh, he's ripping up a 20, the other guy's ripping up that. And my father goes, money's a mere fascination. He throws the money in the air. That was all improvised by my father. Woody Allen loved him, you know. And he
Yeah, that was
used
a
to
great
tell,
movie too.
yeah, he used to call my house, Woody Allen, and tell my father to come up to, at the time, was called Michael's Pub on Monday nights. He used to play the clarinet or do some kind of music stuff, Woody Allen. And he was inviting my father up a lot, you know, and my father just never really was like pursuing an acting career or anything like that.
Right.
You know? It just so happened that they picked him up because of his characters and his looks, you know. So
That's great. That's great. Yeah, we all had a good time on the set. You know, we put a lot of hours in. We all had a good time. It was a
now
lot of fun.
from analyze, I mean from the Bronx Tale, you went to analyze that. Now tell me
Well, what happened was I didn't
the
really
difference
act
is.
any time. What happened was I really didn't do any more acting after that, because I got offered to do the Sylvia Fay, the casting agent. She told me, give me my headshot, and she put me in. I'd be good for a lot of things. She was going to put me in Law and Order, but I never sent my headshot in because, you know, I had a lot of personal things going on with money and stuff. You know, when I was young, you know. So I really didn't do anything after that. And then we got a call from I don't know if you know. Well, sure you know, Goodfellas, Frankie Severo, his brother Gaetano, called us up and asked me if I wanted to be in the scene and analyze that, and that's how we got in there. It was filmed in Exit. It was the topless bar scene, and
Where was it?
it was the Exit in Manhattan, the club.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. All the kids that used to work for me in the restaurants used to go there, and then when they called in sick from the bathrooms, that's how I knew the club.
Yeah. Wow. So you were in that scene in the topless scene, right?
Yeah, when Billy Crystal bumps up against me as he's walking in, got a pretty decent visual on that one. Yeah.
Did you get interacting? Did you actually have interaction with Billy Crystal?
Yeah, it was great. He was a nice guy, because he's one of my
Nice guy.
favorites. Yeah, great guy. Actually, when he first met me, he's looking at me and he goes, "You know, you look like Mike Piazza." I said, "Yeah, the
Oh,
overweight version."
yeah.
The overweight version. I said.
Nah, you do. You do resemble him a little bit. If
But
anyone doesn't know, Mike Piazza used to play for the New York Mets.
yes.
Wow.
And then we talked on the set, and I was actually going to a Met Yankee game that weekend, and he was going, and I actually met Robin Williams and him together at the Met Yankee game in Yankee Stadium too, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been great.
Yeah, and then Harold Ramis, may he rest in peace, was another great guy, regular guy. I mean, he used to talk to us. I mean, we worked on the set one day. I mean, it was really a lot of fun. He was a terrific guy too, one of the nicest guys.
Right. Now, since you've been in those two movies, what kind of reception have you gotten from your friends at the time? Did they treat you any different? Did they like look at you as a star, or they like, you know, shrug you off and say, "Oh yeah, now you're a movie star. We don't want nothing to do with you"? Like,
Nah, just a regular thing. We you know what happened? You do the movie, you forget about it, and you move on. It wasn't really like, it wasn't like I had a lead role or anything. So we had a lot of fun with it.
yeah, but some people, when they get in the movie, like they put it all over social media and say, "Oh, I'm going to be in this movie, and this or this TV show," and then you see their elbow, and they'll like point, "Oh, that was my elbow. Look," you know.
Well,
Like you are actually seen in the movie, you know.
You know what happened? Social media wasn't really around back then.
At that time,
it was
exactly.
just starting. Yeah, I didn't even know nothing about it. But I guess if it was on now, I'd be showing my elbow everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that I got a chance to have you on my show. I'd like for you to come on periodically if you want and talk about other stuff. But we're gonna talk about something that as also I just viewed this last night. The America's Funniest Home Movie thing you did, which was hysterical. You know, it was so funny that they actually. Well, I'm not even going to say what they did. You could see for yourself because we're going to post the video. But how did that come about? How did you get into that?
Well,
situation?
let's watch the video first. How about that?
All right. Let's watch the video.
Okay.
Except that it almost killed the fine art of the prank phone call. Luckily, there's one gentleman in Long Island who's keeping this tradition alive. Call the butcher now. See what he has to say. He's busy. I don't pick up that phone. Oh, is this the butcher shop? Yeah, that's Crockett. Oh, hi, how you doing? I just want to ask you a quick question. Do you guys have pig's feet? Yes, I have pig's feet, sir. Where do you get your shoes?
Now we appreciated this guy so much. It says we love this guy so much, the Proctor, but not really. We appreciated him enough. We thought he should get the last laugh over and over and over again.
Oh, that's terrible. Wow. That was great, man. That was funny. I watched it like 4
Jack,
times.
can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Who's that guy? Tom Bergeron?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dick. He didn't
Is
say. Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought he was not. It was not nice the way he announced.
Well, I'll be honest with you. He was doing, I think, as a joke because I tweeted to him, and he was very cool with me on the tweet. He answered back. He said, "You know, you're going to be on next week." He said, "We just finished editing your film." He said, "We're still laughing." He said, "But he's actually nice. He was
nice.
actually nice. Yeah, he wasn't bad because then I tweeted a couple of times, and he retweeted it, so he wasn't that bad, you know."
Wow.
Okay.
But you know, you're right. It sounded a little douchey the way it was then, you know. But
Yeah.
in the beginning, because
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Pat.
want me to tell you how I got on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I was coming off the golf course. I was with my buddy who's a butcher. So what happens was, I called him. I said, "Listen, answer the phone. Pretend you're a butcher shop. We're going to go with it, right?" But when you're on America's Funniest Home Videos, it can't be staged. It has to be, it has to be spontaneous. It has to happen. So when I sent the video in, they call me back. They love the video. They want to use it. They want to put me in for the $10,000 prize. So they did an interview with me on the phone. Guy wrote all the questions. About 10 minutes later, he called me back. Says, sorry, we got good news. We got bad news. He says, since the thing wasn't staged, the video wasn't staged, we can only use, we can't use it for the $10,000 prize. He said, but the producers loved it so much that they want to buy it from you. So they bought it from me from $500. And that's how they used my head to laugh to put into those other scenes that we did, Wow. And then they said the producers love you, send some more in. So that's all they had to say to me. So I sent a few more in, and I got on 2 more times. One with a prank called my mother's boss, a podiatrist, and then the other one was we were on a golf course. We see the sign scattered, and we ran around and we made a scatter. We were running around scattering, And now I got another one. And now I got another one, that Italian joint that's going to be on soon too.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
You got to let us know where we can see it and when it's coming up. With all your other info, just before we leave, I'll give you a chance to give us your website, YouTube channel, and everything like that. But that's hysterical, man. That is really funny. I'm sure you got a lot of your friends talking when they seen that stuff on there.
I got calls from everybody. I was hysterical because I didn't expect the head to come out. I was hysterical. I was in tears. Yeah, everybody called. It was really fun. It was good.
That was good. That was really good. So you got you had 2 other videos besides that one, and now you got another one that they accepted?
Yeah, but because I know they accepted it because they put third-party copyright thing on it. And I called them. I said, what's this about? They said, we're going to use it in the future. We'll let you know when it's going to be on.
Huh.
Did
they pay you for all of them? Did they pay you for all of them?
Nah, they just paid me for the pig fee one because they wanted to use it for something,
Right. So with this one coming up, is that going to give you a chance to be in the $10,000, get the $10,000 prize?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because that was like acted too. I don't know. They might because it wasn't a prank. So
right.
We were just doing a little act on there. Me and my buddies. Right. After golf, we saw this restaurant and we went with it, Meanwhile, when we did that video, we were halfway down the road. I said, turn the car around. I said, what are you doing? I said, turn the car around. We got to do a video. So my friend, just as nutty as we are, he said, all right, I'll film it. We got to go back. And we did the video right in front of the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, prior to you, how did you think about sending your thing into there? Did they say that like the week before, we're looking for certain things? Is that how you got involved in it?
No, I just I seen it on the website. I guess on Facebook, I saw somebody on America. I said, oh, wow, people I said, let me try the video. I said, this one should be funny. Let me try it out. So I tried it out, and then that was it. My first video I ever sent in, they did it,
Yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations, because that's classic. That'll be on for ever,
You want to know what's funny about that, though? The people around the world that watch it are so critical of things. They were writing in, how can you let that guy in there? That Italian guy is driving in his car. That's dangerous. He can get an accident.
Are you serious?
And I'm saying it's a joke. I was driving around in a parking lot. What am I going to do? Crash into a parked car? I mean, they were making a big. Yeah, it was funny. It's like I said, these people got nothing better to do in the world.
I thought you were going to say that they were complaining because when you came out of the toilet bowl and that little girl was in there, I thought maybe that.
Yeah.
But driving around, what are you kidding?
That was tough coming out of that toilet bowl.
That was great. That was awesome. But what was that supposed to come out of there? It was something else.
I don't know. They did it with their trick photography or whatever. But that was classic.
Yeah, it was.
But people got nothing better to do. It was pretty funny how the comments are. So.
Yeah. So now you also do videos for yourself on YouTube, right? Because you are a chef by trade. And would you decide to make videos about cooking, or you just do any kind of random videos? Like what's your need for that?
I do videos. It started out with the cooking video. I do videos for a site called idealchef.com. So
Ideal Chefs?
Idealchef.com. I got 24 cooking videos on there, So I started that. And then I did some on my own YouTube site. I said, why not do it there? And my buddy, we did this video called Sunday Sauce. My buddy says, I want to really do a nice video. My friend Steve, Valahovic. He's a songwriter, and he's a and
You could plug him. You could tell him who he is.
Yeah, he's a songwriter. He's been in movies. Movies. He's been on All My Children. He's an actor.
What's his name?
Steve Valahovic.
Okay.
And he's been in plays, Guys and Dolls, all that stuff. So he's an actor. He said he wanted to produce this video for me, the Sunday Sauce. So he wrote a song in 3 days, and he produced the whole video for me. And I did the editing and stuff. And it was really, really, he did a nice job. And we got like almost 100,000 hits on it. So
you got like 93,000 hits. Yep.
Yeah. So it's yeah. So we're gonna do a couple more, and we did it at my friend's Dan's house. So we got a lot of good feedback on it. So and that was it. So and then we do the goofy videos we do on when we're on the golf course. Whatever.
Yeah, I seen the one you did about the balls. How do you keep your balls warm? Is that it? Yeah.
We should have. I was wearing flannel leggings. I had my friends with long johns. They didn't look like long johns.
That was definitely Ralph Cramden swinging the golf club, bro. That was good. That was good. And what is your YouTube channel? Can you give us that information?
Pat Marone. Just Pat Marone.
And Marone, it's P-A-T-M-A-R-O-N-E. Pat Marone.
Yeah.
Okay, one off. Yeah, okay, so that's one of his things. His YouTube channel is Pat Marone. Do you have a website or anything like that?
No, not right now. I just do my Facebook page. Pat Marone.
Right.
Twitter.
Are you planning?
Pat, is that recipe patented, or did it come down from your grandma? Where'd you get the recipe for the sauce?
It's mine. It's a combination of my grandmother. It's a combination of being in a restaurant and fooling around, but that's mine. That's my thing that I put together doing, working.
Do you actually ever put pig's feet in the gravy? Because a lot of people do that.
A lot of people do. I don't do it. Years ago, I'll tell you, my grandfather's brother's wife, he used to put the pigskin in it years ago, and I used to love the pigskin. And
they wrap it up with parsley and cheese and garlic. Oh, I love that in the gravy. It's tremendous. Oh, but you call it sauce, I call it gravy. Obviously, there's always a big thing with that. I don't know why it's whatever. It doesn't matter.
And you know how many fights are over that when people fight over that? Yeah, but you know why
we call it gravy? This is the way it was explained to me. A lot of people that call it sauce think gravy is anything that's brown or you put on like turkey, or stuff like that. That it's not a red sauce gravy. But once you add meat and you fry the meat and you put the meat in, then it becomes a gravy. It's a gravy meat. That's why sometimes call it's a gravy meat.
It's really, if you want to be technical, it's a ragu.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't call it ragu because if anybody's going over your house and they hear you making ragu, they're gonna forget. I'm not eating that.
No, but every family has their different things, so I don't knock anybody for what they call it. So,
all right,
but
now
there's heated fights over that.
Yeah, there's definitely fights over that. Let me ask you this. Now, I was watching you make the meatballs. Now, a lot of people do a little different things when they make meatballs, but the way just give me your meatball recipe first.
I put pork veal.
Want to give it to me?
Yeah, pork, veal, and beef, about 2 pounds, and then I put pecorino romano cheese, breadcrumbs. I use a cup of marinara pomodoro sauce, and the reason why I do that is because I cook the garlic and the onions in with that because I don't like to put raw garlic and onions in the meatball. So I get the flavor out of that, and I get the moisture with the tomatoes and stuff like that. So I fooled around with that with a friend of mine's father years ago in the kitchen at a restaurant I used to work at, and we came up with that recipe, and I've been using it ever since. It was actually his idea, and we used it ever since, and it's really good.
Good. Yeah, see, when I was growing up, the people like my mother, my grandmother, they used to do instead of putting breadcrumbs, they used to soak the Italian bread in milk.
Right.
And then they would just add it to like soften the meatball after it was cooked, and also the bread would take away the meat flavor.
Right. And nowadays you got different meats. You don't have to worry about it. They used to squeeze the bread out and put it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I do it. It's just because I follow the traditional recipe in my family.
That's what everybody does.
Not just for the taste or anything like that, but just for the tradition of it.
And that's the way it should be. And that's the way it should be. Everybody makes everything different, sauce different,
Yeah.
everything, and that's everybody's got different tastes.
Yeah, and some
that's what the
people,
beauty of Italian food is too. You know,
it's great
everybody
to be
has their own
Italian,
little thing.
man. I
Yeah.
would never want to come back as anything else, you know. It's a great thing to be an Italian, you know.
You want to know another funny story? Not to change the story about that cooking video. It made me just think.
Yeah.
I came out of a place for the Sunday sauce. I came out of a Panera's, and I got breakfast. I'm sitting in the car with my coffee, and a guy comes over with his 2 kids, and he says, "Are you a chef?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "My 2 kids recognize you inside the Panera's." I said, "Really?" And I was in a town. I didn't even live in this town. I said, "Really?" They said they saw you with your Sunday sauce. They said, "Is that how you doing, chef?" So it was 2 little
Wow.
kids, 6 or 7 years old. So I told them, "How you doing?" And they're screaming, "How you doing?" And it was like really
Yeah.
wild. Like they recognized me like out of the video. It was like funny.
It's true. Yeah, it's good. It's a good feeling. Like I've been in a couple of different films and also like a local commercial. Me and my friend did a local commercial that played on like Cablevision on like the Weather Channel and News 12 and things like that. But it was played a lot, and they played it on the Yes Network when the Yankee games were on. So a lot of people were seeing us, and people were coming up to me like, "Oh, that was you in that thing." You know, it's a good feeling. Then you don't know. Sometimes people are looking at you. You don't know if they're staring at you because they've seen you in a movie or a commercial or on YouTube, or they just looking at you because they're looking. You know. But
it is a great feeling. I tell people when some of my in Bronx Tale, I make a joke. I said, "Yeah, you got to watch the movie very early in the beginning. I'm in the trunk of the car," and then they believe me. I said, "Really?" I said, "No, I wasn't in the trunk."
Yeah. So now let me ask you this. Now from the films that you were in and the cooking, you know, you decided to do stand-up comedy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how did you go from YouTube to stand-up comedy?
I just said it's something I want to try, and I saw the Governors was running a class, and I for my cooking videos and stuff like that, I said, I can only help, and I love making people laugh, and I always I always wanted to try it, So I said, the hell with it, and I took a class at Governors, and John Truson, who was the teacher there, and I took the class, and I've been on stage. August 24th was the first time I was on stage, and I've been on about 20 times since then. I've been on stage, and I'm really enjoying it. It's fun.
Good. Did what's coming up now for you as far as with stand-up? Do you have anything in the near future that you want to promote on the show?
I don't have any shows right now. I might do the Clarion in Ronkonkoma soon, but nothing. I don't have anything booked right now.
What if someone wants to hire you for a show? How would they get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me through my Facebook page, Pat Marone.
Pat Marone?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you did your first stand-up routine, what did it feel like when you went on that stage for the first time? How did you prepare? Did they teach you how to prepare to go on stage or anything like that?
Yeah, they teach you how to write a joke, the premise, the setup, the punchline.
Okay.
And, how to hold the mic when you get up there, take it out of the stand and different things, the delivery, the pause, not stepping on the laughter and stuff like that, the basics of the comedy.
Good, man. You sound like you're really doing good. I want to thank you for coming on. Oh, okay.
The lights went out. I'm in my office at work.
Looks like you got struck by lightning there.
No, the lights went out. I'm so sorry.
I want to thank you, Pat, for coming on the show and sharing all your stories with us. I'm sure you have many, many more, which we'll definitely have you back on the show again. But once again, your YouTube channel is just Pat Marone.
Yes, Pat Marone, yeah, YouTube.
And your Facebook is Pat Marone, M-A-R-O-N-E.
And I have a Chef Pat. I have a Chef Pat Marone too on Facebook too.
Okay, Chef Pat Marone.
And then I got the regular Pat Marone.
Beautiful,
beautiful. I want to thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it. It was nice of you to have me on your show.
Yeah, maybe we could get a couple of the guys and a couple of the guests and the producer Robert. Maybe we can do Sunday Sauce together.
Yeah, sure.
That would be good. That would be good.
Some fun. Yeah.
I also want to thank the viewers for tuning in and all my friends on Facebook who are watching on YouTube. Have a great rest of the Sunday and a great week ahead. And thank you, Pat Marone, and have a great night. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.